Oh, hey guys, in this video I'm going to be giving you a lecture from this sweet business law book I got in college. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm actually going to tell you why I shouldn't have went to college and whether you should or not. Alright guys, so this is one of those stories that gets talked about a lot, makes a lot of people really mad. So I just want to give you my story and kind of why I think I should have never went to college because, you know, I'm here. So first, let me give you a little bit of background. So coming near the end of my high school career, you know, we had those days where, you know, they want you to write down, you know, the things that you're interested in, you know, what you want to be, that kind of stuff. And then you meet with a counselor and they talk about schools and it's supposed to be all fun and exciting, you know, and you know, you're just kind of lost and confused. And I bet you're probably a little lost and confused too, and that's probably why you're watching this video. Now, I remember this vividly today because, you know, it really did have a big impact on my life. All right, so when I did that exercise and I wrote down all those things I wanted to be, you know, I came to this conclusion that, you know, I really loved audio production, and that was something that I wanted to pursue. Like, you know, actually going out there, you know, and recording digital music and mixing it, and being a producer and audio engineer. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Well, guess what? That didn't fall into the boxes that my counselor wanted to check. You know, that wasn't an accountant. You know, it wasn't a lawyer. It wasn't marketing. It wasn't business. It wasn't computer science. It wasn't being a computer program. It wasn't being a corporate cubicle person, right? It was outside of the box, but that, my friend, that is what I wanted to do. And I thought that's what it was all about, leaving high school, going and doing what you want to pursue in life, right? Like they build it up like that. You're all excited about it, but then, you know, when it comes down to it, they want to put you inside this little box of checking the boxes, playing it safe, getting a corporate job, living a mediocre life. Okay, now I'm not saying all that to discourage anyone from, you know, doing that if that's what they want. But if you're like me and that's not what you wanted, that's why I wanted to record this video. Now, another part of the story and something that was always known to me growing up is that I wanted to own my own business, okay? You know, I saw my dad and my mom working these jobs that were just breaking their back, literally. My mom had multiple back surgeries as she was out there working a job that was full of mostly men, like moving furniture in heavy warehouses, right? That broke my heart, and still to this day, I see the effects that that job has on my mom's life, how much pain and suffering she's been through because of that job. And I knew that growing up, I didn't want to live that way, right? And you know, the thought of owning my own business was always exciting. So then I started thinking about it, and you know, some of the other things I loved audio and recording music and, you know, all that kind of stuff, all the technical details of, you know, mixing with settings and, you know, plugging in cords and wires and all this stuff was so much fun to me. And that's why I really loved it too. And I was like, well, hey, you know, if I go and I, you know, learn the audio engineering stuff, I learn how to mix and record music and all this kind of stuff. Well, then what I can do is I can go out there and get some experience, and then I can start my own business doing that. Well, long story short, going back to the counselor, she came back, and me being naive and not really, you know, knowing how to do the research back then for myself and just kind of taking her word for it, you know, she's a counselor. She's not going to steer me wrong, right? She said, well, you know, there's not any schools close by for you to learn that, so I highly recommend you look at some other things that you wrote on the box here, okay? Now, at the time when we did that exercise, you know, I was taking an accounting class and I had a really cool teacher that was teaching us accounting. And I said, okay, so accounting's kind of cool. So, you know, that's something else that kind of interests me. Well, guess what? As soon as she saw that accounting thing, Boom, that was the path I was going. No schools here for audio engineering. Let's put you in this accounting path because that's the safe route. That's the route that you should go, okay? And of course, God loved my parents, but you know how it is. They were old school. They grew up that way. The way they were seeing it was, okay, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, make good money, live a good life, right? Well, here's the problem with that thinking, okay? I didn't want to work in a cubicle, I wasn't that excited about accounting, okay? And I was excited about audio. I was excited about being an entrepreneur. I wasn't excited about all that stuff. So guess what happened? Well, I went to college, I got the degree, I got the job, and I was freaking miserable. And I did this for, God, probably 10, 12 years, and I lived this miserable work life that I hated, right? And that's what I don't want you to do. Now, there's going to be pressures and people in your life that are always going to tell you to go the safe path. Go get that good corporate job, or go get that good union job. They pay well. You have a great retirement. Well, guess what? Your retirement and all that stuff doesn't matter. If you hate your life, you hate your job, you're going to hate your life. So you have to find something that works for you and ignore all the naysayers. That's the hardest thing. You have to ignore people that you look up to and respect. You have to ignore, maybe what your parents say, or what your siblings say, or what your counselor who supposedly knows this stuff says. You got to be willing to go against the grain and go against their advice and make a decision that works for you. So the biggest tip I can tell you when it comes to whether or not you should go to college is cut the distractions and really think about you personally. What do you want to do? And doing the research yourself. Look at the things that you want to accomplish in life. Look at the things that you aspire to do, to aspire to be. And does college fit in with that path? Right? So a big mistake a lot of people choose, and that is just focusing on the money. Okay, money is only one factor into happiness. Okay. If you love what you're doing and you're living a decent life, having, a lot more money working a job that you hate is going to be much less happy and exciting and fun than, making less but doing something you love. So to start, you want to identify your love and your core strengths. What are the things that you absolutely love? What are the things that you could spend just hours and hours and hours doing, and you look up the clock and you realize 10 hours later that, oh wow, I've just spent 10 hours, working on the computer or doing this or doing that or whatever it is. What are the things that you just absolutely love? Time flies and it's just complete fun happiness to you. Okay, next, look at the things that you are really good at. Oftentimes, things we are really good at, we also love because we put in the time and the effort to get really good at something, which usually means that we love that thing. So look at the things that you are really, really good at. Now, this one's going to sound a little silly, but it's a cool little exercise where you take 5 minutes and you map out your dream life. Where do you want to live? Do you want to live next to the beach? Do you want to live in this state or this country or that country? How many hours do you want to work a day? Do you want to own your own business, right? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Take 5 minutes and map out what your dream life would be. Now that you have your dream life mapped out, build a plan to get there. Now, this doesn't have to be some 100-step, fancy plan. Just think about what you would need to put in place in your life to get to that dream life. And finally, the reason we're recording this video is if college fits into that plan, if college fits into that dream life, then by all means, go to college, do your thing, okay? But if it doesn't fit in that plan, think about your other options and what plan and things you need to do to build that dream life.